up, guys? So today we're talking about a Roland TD-25. This is a kit that I bought about 3 years ago. I believe the 25 came out in around 2015 or 16, and it was actually a pretty overpriced kit for what it was. Right now, the TD-17 is the offering. This was the TD-25kv, which means it had 2 crashes. Of course, there's a lot of mods that I did to this that I'm going to talk about. First of all, yeah, I am definitely a proud owner of a Rock Sock. This is one of 2 that I own. I sold the spindle throne. This was the hi-hat stand that I got when I got this used kit. It came with a Gibraltar throne, which I sold and opted for this one, which is much better. And it came with a kind of a generic double bass pedal, which I opted for this Gibraltar nice pedal. I bought that pedal brand new. That pedal was about 120, not sure. So anyways, this kit came on the rack. I played with it on that rack for quite a while. Now what you see here is 2 8-inch toms, 2 10-inch toms, and I upgraded that. That's a 12-inch snare. And of course, I had to buy the Roland snare stand to go with that. And it actually says Roland on there. Yes, this was a very, very good upgrade. So gang, there is a lot of different options as far as when you're going to upgrade. You can go with another cymbal if you'd like. See on the back of the module, there's the Crash 2, which on this model, there was already the Crash 2. So it also gives you an auxiliary. You can do another crash, or in my case, I just opted to take that 10-inch snare, which was on the rack, and I moved it over there as a 4th tom, and I upgraded that snare to a 12-inch, and I really like this. The 8-inch pads are actually nice. A lot of players will actually go with all 10-inch pads. So those 2 8-inch pads being smaller is actually a nice thing. And I have it mounted onto one stand, as we'll talk about. The thing with this is I just decided to ditch the rack. Well, the rack is up in the attic. I'm not going to get rid of it. But I had a lot of these pearl stands. I went on a lot of different sites and looked up these old school stands right here. These are from the early 2000s. My very first brand new kit was a Pearl Export, and it came with these Pearl 800 series stands. Came with like a boom stand and a straight stand. And I've always played on these stands, and I've really just come to love them. Knowing that I was going to ditch the rack, I decided to look for these stands, and I've collected them. I've collected maybe about 12 of them. I got like 3 or 4 boom stands and maybe 6 straight stands. I've collected them to go with another drum kit that I have. I have a drum kit that's on a rack, but I also own a drum kit that uses stands, so it worked well with that. So I had plenty of stands for that kit and this kit here. Yeah, I got a couple left over. It was really quite easy. There's a lot of different ways that you can do it. With this Roland here, you have 2 extra inputs. So you can input the crash 2, which it already came with, and you get 1 more auxiliary input for either another crash or a tom. So I just opted to upgrade that snare. And if you ask me, that is the best way to go. Upgrade the snare. Your 10-inch now becomes the 4th floor tom, and now you have a bigger snare that you can put on a stand. And of course your hi-hat is already on a stand. So then you just have to think about the mounts. What I have here is the Roland TD-25. This is the tom pad heavy duty mount, and it actually fits inside the pipe of my pearl cymbal stand. This here, you can loosen this and you can move it around. It's on a ball. There's a ball in there. There's a ball in there, so you can move it any which way. And on the other side, there's a key. You put a key in it. You put a drum key in that, and you can adjust this back or forth. Also, it comes on a long pipe. It comes on a long pipe, so you can adjust it up and down. So there's a lot of adjustability here. And then you just use a clamp. Now what I did here was I mounted my tom mount inside the pipe, and then I used a clamp to clamp the cymbal stand to the stand, see? But I found that this way works a little better because this tom pad has a little bit of weight to it. It's a lot heavier than this cymbal pad. So when you mount this pad inside the stand right there, it makes it a little more stable. Then you have adjustability right here. You can move your clamp around and you can adjust and mount that cymbal wherever you want. Now this one is on a boom stand, but for the ride I just used a straight stand. Same thing. The pad is inside the cymbal stand base and the clamp is holding the cymbal on. Now there's also a different way that you can mount these pads. If you have the pearl style tom arms, it actually fits in here and it screws down the same way right here. Right here you just tighten this and it will mount like that. So I found these on eBay. I went this route because I like the use of this rod right here. You can opt to use the pearl style tom arms if you'd like. I think that this way right here is a little bit better though because it holds the tom tighter. I mean, they don't give these things away. These were like $50 a piece and I needed 4. So yeah. And that was as cheap as it would get. there was somebody selling a pair of them right there. That was like $120 for that pair shipped. And then these, I found these individually for about $50 each. So, other than that, you know what? That's all there really is to it. Now, if you only have 3 toms, you don't need this clamp here. I use this 3-way clamp to clamp these 2 8-inch tom pads. So you would just clamp a tom to each cymbal stand. Or if you have a lot of cymbal stands, you can just put pads right in a cymbal stand base and have your cymbals completely separate. So, you know, I'm kind of stuck with my cymbals being this way, but if I had a lot of cymbal stand bases or extra cymbal stands around, then I could have my cymbals just mounted on their own stand, and then I could put them wherever I want. But this way is actually very comfortable. So this is what I do. Gang, I am really, really happy with this kit. I'm gonna have this kit for a very long time. I gave, I think, $1,600 for it when I got it at Guitar Center, and it was used. They sold for $2,500 back when they were new. And then right here, I have this cymbal stand, but it's missing the thread. So I utilize this stand to mount this Gibraltar table. I'm using this Gibraltar part to mount the module. And of course I got a stick holder in the back and the tablet mounted to that Gibraltar part, which I've talked about in a previous video. I've done videos on the Gibraltar hardware, so go check them out. I did a video on this Gibraltar sidekick table as well. It's completely outfitted, like I got means to put my headphones down, and you got to have a stick holder, or you can set your sticks right on that table. It makes your life a lot easier. And you have to have a tablet to call up songs so that you can practice. And I can practice with the headphones or without. I got an amp. I got a really, really nice amp. It's the Simmons DA200. This amp is actually in stereo. That's why I have 2 left and right hooked up to it. Inside there is, I don't know if you can see it, but yeah, it has a pair of tweeters and it has a pair of 6.5s. And I believe that there's a subwoofer down inside this amp. The story with this amp is, I was on Craigslist and there was a seller that had this amp, and he actually wanted to do a trade for a throne with a backrest. Well, I had 3 Gibraltar thrones and 1 backrest, and I'm like, you know what? I don't even like this backrest anyways. I gave it a try, and I don't really prefer it. Just come off of one of these thrones and trade for this thing, you know, instead of having to buy it. So he's like, yeah, bring over your thrones. I really need a back rest. I had back surgery. So I loaded them all up, drove over there, and yeah, we did a trade. So he actually got the Rock and Sock spindle throne with the backrest. This one here stays here at the house, and oh my god, I love this. I love this throne. Again, I was on Craigslist, and a guy had this for sale. I guess it was just sitting in his closet. He just didn't like it. So I bought it. I think I picked it up for $100. I mean, it was insane. Insane. $100. So anyways, yeah. That Simmons amp gets loud. So I am capable of playing with a band here. The Roland TD-25, I really love it. I love this kit. This kit was actually at my church day one when I bought it, and it was over there for several years, and I just didn't really have anything nice here at the house, so I decided to bring it home. And that's when I modded it with the stands. And at the church now, I have that black Zepp style kit that I did in a previous video that you should definitely check out. That kit is all set up over there now, and it's incredible. I actually, right now, I got 3 crashes and 3 splashes on it. So it is just insane. Insane. It sits behind a shield. So if you are looking to ditch the rack, if you are like one of those non-conformers and you do not want to do things the way it comes out of the box, it's very easy. Don't be afraid. Take that rack, disassemble it, and put it up in your attic. And just forget about it. You're gonna get you a few cymbal stands. You're gonna need several clamps, and you're just gonna need to do a little bit of research and find out to get the correct tom mounts. Just do a little bit of research, look, write down these part numbers on a pad, and just research a little more. Get on eBay, and you will find what you need. And you will be happy. This way, I love it, because it's, to me, a lot better. See, the problem with the rack is it has this little pipe here, which is okay, but then it's got this other stupid pipe that comes this way, which is totally useless. I mean, your hi-hat stand is going to be there. It's going to cover up your module, and it's just absolutely pointless. And then on this side, it comes this way, but it doesn't really give you enough room to mount 2 pads if you were going to do that. So this way you can mount it your way and make it yours. There's a lot to talk about here, and I hope you enjoyed. Thanks for watching another one of my videos. The Roland TD-25 is finished. I've had it done now for a couple of months, and it's just absolutely a Cadillac. I mean, let me tell you, huge difference between Elise's Yamaha and Roland. You know, Yamaha has those small little 8-inch snare pads. That doesn't work for me. A nice 12-inch snare pad, let me tell you what, that is absolutely acceptable. A 12-inch snare is very nice. Very, very nice. And those 8-inch pads are great too. I like going from the 8-inch to the 10-inch. As long as you got a nice 12-inch snare, you can really practice. It's not like a toy, you know, it's more of a real kit. Roland is top notch. Honestly, I would never buy anything else. Thanks for taking some time with me, guys. And I will see you in another video.